everybody, and welcome back to Sylvia's Sweet Movie Reviews. And here today, we are going to be doing Deadpool and Wolverine movie review. Yes, I know I'm hella late, but like I said in my previous videos, life has been lifing, and I am so behind on movie reviews and different stuff. So, I didn't get a chance to see this in the theater, so I wind up watching this. What is that one? I streamed it. Basically, I had a whole brain fart for a second. So so I'm gonna do a like I normally do a non-spoiler review about the movie. So Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman reprised their roles that they're now most iconic for. I absolutely loved this movie. It had a lot of man on man scenes. um and like it was like intentionally gay scenes, which were really funny because I watched it with my boyfriend and he was just like, yo dog, like, yo, why are you doing this? I just thought it was just funny to see these two actors play their most now iconic roles, because now when you think of Deadpool, you only think of Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman been playing Wolverine since 2000, and it's 2024, so he's been playing this character for 24 years. So the story starts out like basically um there's a situation had happened, and there basically Deadpool's world is going to die, and he's been pulled by the TVA. If you watch Loki, the TVA, they sit there and they pull him out. I feel like they messed up by telling him like your world is going to like die. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be in 10 million years or in 10 months, your world is going to die. So basically, Deadpool's whole goal in the movie is to stop that from happening. And he needs a Wolverine. The action in this movie, the choreograph of the action sequences, the dialogue of the movie, the kind of like a little bit of more lore of the TVA. Like basically, we found out, if you watch Loki, that the TVA basically they stopped certain things from happening because a timeline is supposed to have certain things, and if certain things, like, okay, if you were only meant to have one child, right? If you were only meant to have one child and you wind up having two children, but your destiny is only to have one child, they will take your second child and blink it as if you, like, Men in Black type way, like you never had a second child, which I think is messed up. Because that's like the simplest way I can basically put it. So here's my thing with the whole situation. I love the plot. The plot is basically Deadpool trying to save his world, but in doing so, he basically runs into a bunch of shenanigans trying to save his world. So, as a whole of a movie, when it comes down to comedy, the comedy sequences was on point. The action sequences was on point. The basically the character staying true their core of who they are were on point. Like, Deadpool is an asshole. He is. He's an asshole. And he's an asshole. He's what is it? Um self-absorbed asshole, basically. Like, unless it's benefiting him, he doesn't care, in a way, because he does care about other people. Like, if I forget what the word is, if it's self-serving to what he's trying to do, if it's not self-serving to what he's trying to do, whatever his goal is, his accomplishment or whatever, he does not care. He will throw you under the bus. He does not care. And he thinks it's funny. That's his core. Wolverine has always been tormented. He's been messed up in so many different ways. And that's why it's like he's the way he is, because all of this stuff has happened to him. And I love, spoiler alert, this Wolverine is not the Wolverine from Deadpool's world. He had to find this Wolverine. This Deadpool had to find this Wolverine, because I think they said that in the trailer. I think it's not basically a spoiler, but they said in the trailer that this Wolverine basically let his world down. So he's like the worst Wolverine. The best Wolverine that was a part of his world that we had a lot of questions about was Logan. So now we're stepping into spoiler alert. Okay, so Logan had died. Logan was a part of Deadpool's universe. We just didn't know. But if you watch Logan, basically all the crap that happened with the X-Men and everything like that or whatever, that's happening in Deadpool's world timeline. So Logan happened years before Deadpool 1, 2, and 3. So basically what they're saying is that because this Wolverine died, he made a sacrifice. He was like the glue that held their universe together. I forgot what they called them in the movie, but he's basically the glue that hold their universe together. And he sacrificed himself to save X-23, and because he saved X-23 and saved the world, basically the world wound up going anyway, because he's the glue. He can't, if his Wolverine died, if a Wolverine did like this particular character or glue, if they die in this world, the world dies. So but the thing is that here's what I don't like, that the TVA basically don't say that they're gonna die, but how they put it is that they're gonna die in like, what is it, in like years, like millions of years, right? So what made me mad while I'm watching this is the fact that the guy who's in charge of the TVA, right? He's sitting here. What was his name? It was Mr. Paradox. Mr. Paradox wanted to basically blow up the planet. He didn't want to have to sit and wait and watch the world basically millions and millions of years to disintegrate. He didn't want to wait and watch. And because he didn't want to wait and watch, he wanted to blow it up, is why Deadpool is like, no, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? So, he, of course, fights back after getting his brand new suit. They send him into this world where basically people, after they get taken by the TVA, it's basically being deleted. They wind up in this world. So in this world, you wind up finding, before anything else, da 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 da, Johnny Storm. So Johnny Storm is played by Chris Evans. Before he became Captain America, everyone knows this. He was in the original Fantastic Four movie that came out years ago. So the thing is that the Johnny Storm character, he comes into onto the scene, and um oh wait, I skipped a part. Did I skip a part? Yeah, I skipped a part. Yeah, I forgot the part where he finds Wolverine. He finds a Wolverine. He goes he no, he attacks Mr. Paradox and everybody and kills a bunch of people. He steals the little car thing to go through different universes. He finds Hugh Jackman Wolverine in this particular universe, and then they basically fight and blah 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 blah, just to just to get him just to get him to the TVA. Once he gets to the TVA, he's like, here's a Wolverine. Put him into my universe, everything should be cool. He's like, no, it doesn't work like that. And he still want to blow everything up. And he was like, and then on top of that, you brought me the worst Wolverine. So it was like a whole thing. Then they basically get deleted into the area that I was talking about previously, where they find Johnny Storm, Chris Evans, and Deadpool gets him killed, which is so messed up. They get them killed by her, Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova. She what'd she do? She's Charles Xavier's sister. So apparently she was never supposed to exist. Charles Xavier, in their particular timeline, Charles Xavier is supposed to be an only child. That's why him and Magneto become best friends, because they become like brothers, because both of them are only children, and that sets everything off, right? So the thing is that in her universe, she wound up being a little sister of Charles, and her powers are so freaky. She has to put her whole hand through your face just to sit there and read your mind and control your mind and stuff like that, or whatever. My thing is that Charles is obviously superior because he doesn't have to touch you. He can find any X-Men. He can find them, use his powers, all that from a distance. He doesn't have to touch you. She has to get close and personal and touch you, which I'm like, that's kind of messed up. What I did like, besides Chris Evans coming back, is Aaron Stanford. Aaron Stanford is the original Pyro from the original X-Men, I believe. Yeah, X-Men 1 and 2 and 3. He's Pyro. He wound up turning bad or whatever. So he comes back. He's the bad guy, obviously. He comes back. And, he's with Cassandra as the bad guy. What I did love as a surprise, which I was really hard because the internet gets on my nerves sometimes. I don't even have to be scrolling and people are revealing stuff from this movie. It's pretty annoying. It really is pretty annoying how y'all just be like, spoiler alert, oh, this person's in this movie, this person in this movie. Like, Jesus. Stop spoiling it for everybody. A lot of people don't see stuff as soon as it comes out because they have lives and they cannot, whether it was money, whether it's family, whether it's a whole lot of stuff. It's annoying, internet. It really is. So I knew that there were old characters. I wasn't revealed, by the grace of the Lord, I wasn't revealed of who the characters were, but these guys, boop, 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 these guys, they are in the movie. We have Blade, we have Elektra, we have X-23, and we have Channing Tatum playing Gambit. I was so excited to see them on screen. I was so excited that they brought Wesley Snipes, who was the original Blade. They brought Jennifer Gardner, who plays the original Elektra. And it was nice to see X-23 all grown up, because when we saw her in Logan, she was like, what, 12? And like now she's a young woman, nice, beautiful lady, and she plays basically adults. I do wish that they gave her suit. I feel like if she would have had a suit like Wolverine's, like right here, like if a female version, or the comic book accurate costume. They put her in a t-shirt, you see it, a t-shirt and a jean jacket and some jeans, like, and some freaking goggles. Are we serious? That was like literally like kind of like my only complaint, because I feel as though that she should have had a suit. Now they might give her a suit later on, but I feel like this was a perfect time to give them a suit. I felt like Deadpool and Wolverine basically kind of like they all worked together to try to get out of this dead wasteland, to save his world. And there were lots of fights along the way. Now, here's to another side of the movie. All of the Deadpools, all of the different Deadpools. Apparently, Cassandra said that, Deadpools are very common in the wasteland. There's like millions of them. Like, basically, it's like there's a whole lot of them. Apparently, they get deleted a lot. So she, wasn't so like, impressed by Deadpool. But having a Wolverine, because Wolverine is basically kind of like, he's an animal, but he's also like, he has a good heart, and he will self-sacrifice himself. Because like, if you watch X-Men 3 The Last Stand, what Wolverine do? He was about to sacrifice his life to get to Jean Grey, just to stab her and kill her. But he regenerates. So, but she could have killed him. If she kept putting up enough force, she could have killed him. The only reason why he was alive was because he kept regenerating, as like he was getting closer to her. So, but he was willing to sacrifice himself just to get to her, so he can end her, basically, and save everybody else. So I'm like, basically, Wolverine is basically like a top tier X-Men. So Cassandra really liked the fact that he was there. So I like that there was all these Deadpools, all these different kind of Deadpools. I love the insider joke that Ryan Reynolds, this particular Deadpool, wanted another Deadpool's set of guns. And he was just like, yeah, you're going to have to get it off my dead body before I let you have these. And sure enough, towards the end of the movie, he purposely gets this man killed. Purposely gets him killed, so he can steal his guns. I was like, hey yo, he was not playing. He was just like, I'm gonna set you up to get murdered, so I can take your stuff. Since you said I can't have it unless it's off of your dead body, I guess you guys to die. I was cracking up. This whole movie, I was cracking up. The Cassandra being a villain, she was one of those type of villains where I understand why she's a villain. I do. I understand that she was tossed aside. She was never loved. She feels like her brother would have never loved her. But that's not true. Even Wolverine said that's not true. Like, if you really got to know Charles, he would have never let her go. He would have never. He would go. He would destroy the earth for his sister. Basically, that's how much he loves and cares about people. And sure enough, if that's his sister, he would love and care about his sister, and he would not let anybody touch his freaking sister. So my thing is that she just feels like she's been tossed aside. She's unloved. Nobody cares about her. That type of stuff. And I just feel like, she she's just like, well, like, y'all messing with me. She's like, she's already like messed up here, and she got these weird powers. So it's like, because of that she's kind of like, the TVA, Mr. Paradox, started messing with her in her world. So she and tried to get Pyro to kill her. She was just like, I was minding my business in my world, not bothering nobody, and you started messing with me. You started fucking with me. So now I gotta get rid of you. And that is why she went after him. But I didn't like the fact that she went, like, I get her messing with Mr. Paradox because he was messing with her. But then to be like, oh, I'm going to destroy all worlds. I'm going to use the device that that Mr. Paradox planted to blow up their world, Deadpool's world. She's then going to use it to destroy all worlds, all realities. I'm like, we went from 0 to 5 million in less than 20 minutes. Like, what the hell? And I like that. I don't agree with that. I feel like she just went hardcore for no reason. I was just like, how did we get here? But I do like the fact that all the Deadpools started to fight. Here's what I thought. I thought all the Deadpools were going to join together with Deadpool and Wolverine to fight the TVA. That's what I was thinking while watching this movie. But it wound up being the opposite. The Deadpools wound up going after Deadpool and Wolverine to slow them down. I'm like, but why? I didn't understand the why, though. Y'all could probably let me know in the damn comments below, but I was just like, but why, though? Why? So, I like that Wolverine was willing to sacrifice himself, because we're at the end, basically. Wolverine was willing to sacrifice himself to save the world or whatever. And then Wolverine tried to sacrifice himself. And him and Deadpool were basically fighting to try to sacrifice themselves. So Deadpool basically tricked Wolverine, and then when they was like when Deadpool was trying to stop the thing, Wolverine broke in, and they basically held hands or whatever and wind up being shirtless somehow. And I'm not gonna lie, when Madonna, life is a mystery, everyone must stand alone, which we already know that's about Haktua. My boyfriend taught me what that meant because I'm old. He younger than me. I don't know nothing about what that meant, but it's basically about that. The song, I never knew that, and I'm a Christian. I'm like, oh, this is such a holy song by Madonna. Okay, Madonna, and then to think what the song really means, and I'm like, okay. So I found it more funny that they used that song because it's two men and this song is playing. I did feel bad for when they did leave the desert area, that they all worked together with Elektra, Blade, and everybody to leave. That I was like, at first I was like, yo, y'all just left them there to rot. But at the end of the movie, after everybody is saved and Paradox is locked up, they send everybody back to their original worlds, which I found very nice, a very interesting way to tie it up. I would have liked a little cameo of Blade back in his world, because Blade is supposed to be having a movie. I would have liked that he comes back to his world, and he's, and everybody's like, welcome back. Things change, and then there's like all this like shit happening, and then he's like, let's get to it. We could have had Elektra coming back to her worlds, and then they could have had a cameo of Ben Affleck as Daredevil, waiting for her or whatever. That would have been nice, even though I don't know what's going on with him and Jennifer Lopez and him and his ex-wife. I don't know what's going on. I don't. But as a comic book fan, I would have liked to see that, because they were in the original movie. And then I would have liked to see, who is it? Gambit with, what's her face? Rogue. I would have liked to see that. That would have been nice. And I would have loved to see that. So that's my movie review. As what is that? I normally do top 5 out of 10 or something like that. Oh, I rate it out of 1 through 5, I think. So I feel like this movie was a 5 out of 5 movie. It gave me laughs, it gave me action, it gave me good story, it gave me complexity, like it's not so simple, like things were just jumbled around and all that. It was a solid movie. Deadpool needs a raise. I'm going to say that. Ryan Reynolds needs a raise. I feel like he should be making way more money just to play Deadpool, because he not only embodies the character, he does the character justice. Hugh Jackman, I would love to see him still play Wolverine, even though I know he's trying to retire. But just like I said about Jim Carrey with Sonic, your ass is not allowed to retire until we done with these universes. I'm serious. You can't be replaced. It sucks, but you can't be replaced. You're awesome. Deadpool Wolverine. So let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comments below. Check it later. Bye.